is a play called Bohemian Rat City. Bohemian Rat City by Maggie Smith. Lights up on a single regular-sized dumpster in an alley with Sage sitting next to it, exhausted. Madden walks on slowly, looking around and spots Sage. Yes, they are human-sized rats.
What have you been doing with your whole day?
I'm thinking about not being hungry. If I think about it enough, then I forget that I haven't eaten in days.
I'm not gonna lie, that's dumb. Why don't you just come and scavenge with us? You'll find enough food if you work for it.
I don't have any energy for that. Just leave my body to rot and perish.
Are you really gonna do this here? Come on, this is the 5th time this week that you've sulked in a doleful heap by the trash.
Yeah, I don't view it as sulking. It's more like taking a nap without falling asleep. And getting to be sad the entire time.
Fine. Suit yourself.
You think that God cares about us still?
What are you talking about? And what do you... Why am I the one you're asking this to?
I'm only asking a question, Madden. I'm not saying it's something I believe in, it's just a thought I've had bouncing around in my brain, in my skull.
Aura enters, rushing to Madden and Sage.
There you are. I've been looking for you both. Guess what? Guess. Never mind, I'll just tell you. I fed a cat today. A cat. Whoa. What are you two doing?
Sage thinks God doesn't like us anymore.
Sage, what do you mean? I know life is rough, but please think about what you're saying. We haven't been abandoned, we just need...
I have been thinking about it all day. Our God is a cruel one. Would a kind God do what our God did? There's no way. They just...
Got mad and turned their creations to rats?
Got mad and turned their creations to rats.
I'm sure they had their reasons. There's no way they would hurt us. They're kind. They care for us.
Don't defend them. They abandoned us all. Reasons are nothing more than excuses. Whatever reasons they give us would be nothing more than lies to put us at ease.
And I'm sure they didn't enjoy it. Think about how they must have felt doing that. We were their children, and we still are.
Do you really think so? Be honest.
Why would you ask that? You know the answer. Look, Charlie's about to walk past us. We can ask and get a second opinion.
Charlie enters, carrying a large trash bag, crossing in front of Sage, Aura, and Madden, clearly hoping to exit. Aura is about to speak, but is cut off by Charlie.
Please, 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 don't talk to me. I'm begging you. Let me leave and go home.
But you don't even know what I was
It
going
doesn't
to
matter. I don't want to hear it. I spent years being around you all, listening to superficial fights. It makes me feel sick with annoyance.
Just leave the poor rat alone. No one cares. Not any of us and not any God.
Do you think God has left us here to die?
Considering that 3 years ago I didn't believe in any God, I don't know what to think. Is that enough for you?
See, Aura? Not everyone wants to share your devotion to a destructive God.
But we sinned. We deserved the pain we got.
Do you honestly believe that we are deserving of this? That this is our fault? Because last time I checked, I never prayed to God in bed at night asking for them to turn me into a rat person. This isn't a punishment. This is an abuse of cosmic and crushing power.
What does it matter? Look at us. We're rats. Not even real rats. There's no changing that. Do you remember that day? It was bewildering. The way the sun burned through the air like a never-ending comet. The sky dripped bright orange blood falling and tearing flesh apart. And the screaming. Closing eyes to humanity just to open them to monstrosities. And why? Talent and money blinded us. I know I didn't care for my craft. None of us did, but who could blame us? We wanted to have some kind of happiness. We did what we thought we had to do, didn't we? Was that our sin? Did we have too much pride? It doesn't matter anymore. This is what our life is now. There's no use in being mad at a god or any use in worshiping one either. Pointless.
So can I go now? Every second longer I spend with you, I feel more and more my fur fall out.
And what could you possibly have to do?
Anything but this. Now please let me leave.
Fine. Plague carrier.
Charlie stops moving and turns to Ara.
I'm sorry, you want to repeat yourself there?
Sounds like you heard me just fine, rodent bitch.
Ara, I know the only reason you're insulting me is because you're mad and insecure. Unfortunate vermin.
Do you really think that arguing will get us anywhere? How will that help us? Like, God sees us fighting. So what? It's not like us debating will bother them at all. Is this how you want to spend the rest of your lives? Just think about it. The lifespan of a rat can't be too long. Come on, guys.
Have you Googled the lifespan of a rat?
I tried to Google the lifespan of a human rat, but my claws wouldn't work on my phone screen or the computer keyboard.
We all have our crosses we have to bear.
You know what my theory is? God wasn't even mad. God got bored. That's all there is.
Here we go again. Can we please stop?
Wait. Go on. What do you mean God got bored?
I'd have to guess nothing really happens in heaven. No real wars or drama. So what does God do for entertainment? They turn to watch the earth. We were always a mess. I mean, remember the internet? A whole mess.
This is dumb. This is dumb, guys. This is dumb.
Madden, shut up! What sins did we commit? Sage, what did you do to deserve this fate? Did you ever ask God why this happened?
Are you asking me if I ever had a direct conversation with God? No.
What sins do you remember committing?
Well, I put an empty milk carton in the fridge for someone else to deal with.
That's not a sin, Sage. Try something else. Worse.
When I dropped an ice cube on the kitchen floor, I would kick it under the freezer instead of picking it up. Is that one?
No, you're not hearing me. That's not a sin.
Okay, why can't we just be finished with this, please?
One time, when I was 5, my sister and I were spending the night at my grandma's house, and we were playing in her bedroom and jumping on the bed, and we started running around the bed, like jumping off of it, then running around and jumping back on the other side, and I didn't think my sister was jumping off fast enough, so I pushed her off the side of the bed, and she was crying, and I convinced her that she fell by herself, and that we didn't need to tell her mom, but that she did, but her mom didn't believe her until the next day, and her arm was broken, and she needed to wear a cast for almost 3 months, and she couldn't do gymnastics until her arm healed, and that was a really long time for her to wait, and I feel bad, but I can't apologize because I made her think she fell by herself. Is that bad enough?
What the fuck?
I don't think any book covers that.
There's nothing that could cover that.
Is that a sin? Does that count as one?
It could. It might. But Sage was also young when that happened, so I don't think it counts as much if it happened as an adult.
Pushing that aside, Sage, have you ever, committed murder or something like that? Something serious.
Do I look like the kind of person who would commit murder? Is that what you think?
Well, you don't look like a person at all.
I'm not saying I think you did. I'm just trying to prove a point. You didn't sin.
Everyone sins. There's a whole list of sins. You have to do one at some point. We aren't perfect. We're born sinful. We'll die sinful.
Okay. Why didn't God spare you, Ara?
What do you mean? I sinned too. We all did.
You were their most devoted follower. You loved them too much to be a human rat, didn't you? But here you are with us in an alleyway by a dumpster. So why aren't you the exception? Like Noah saved from the flood because he was special. Why aren't you special? special, Ara. Why aren't you?
Charlie, take a breath. Calm down. And stop it.
He's right. I should be special. Why am I a rat? For fuck's sake! Why am I a rat? No, God doesn't turn their acolytes into rats. They do not. They do not give them claws for fingers, or take teeth away, or give them long, rough pigtails.
So say it with me. God got bored. That's it.
God got bored. They had nothing to do, so they turned us into rats to have some fun.
How do we fix this? We can't just sit here.
We tell the others. We tell everyone we can find. God can't stop us all if we revolt. We stop following them, and then when they see what they're doing, they'll fix us.
I'm sorry. You're suggesting we fight God?
That's what it's starting to sound like. I'm in.
Me too. I can't believe I'm doing this.
What the hell? I'll do it.
Perfect! We'll show God that we're not afraid of them anymore. You hear that? We aren't afraid!
The lights go out as the sound of a lightning strike fills the air. The lights come up and the rats lay on the ground, fried. The lights slowly dim down again. God has killed the rats. Bri Murray as Madden, and as Elizabeth as Madden, or as Ara.